Tomorrow morning, Lucille Ball is back in the musical comedy which teamed her up with Victor Mature as a womanizing soldier who has just 7 days leave to track her down and marry her to inherit a fortune. That's tomorrow at 9 o'clock.
George Cole plays Ginger on BBC One and tells Radio Times why he found it such a daunting part. What do women want from work in the future? Radio Times launches its Women Mean Business survey.
Name the films of the Radio Times Film 90 competition and win yourself the holiday of a lifetime. Believe me, it's easy. Even I could do it.
And Leslie Ann Down talks to Radio Times about her new life in Dallas.
It gives me a good feeling to know that I'm going to have a bit of acting to do, you know, a couple of days a week. God, life is tough.
Radio Times gives you a better picture.
In about 3 minutes on BBC One, Daytime Live goes up and away for an interview with the intrepid balloonist Pearl Lindstrand, who'll be talking about his latest adventure on Everest. Here on 2 in half an hour, Made by Man focuses on some Dutch craftsmen restoring old film material. And that's after we've seen how an NHS surgeon put a second skill to work to raise money for a brain scanner. It's Dr. Jazz and his magnetic appeal.
Diseases may come and diseases may go, but how do the doctors know? They place reliance in medical science, technology helps them so. So listen here folks, cause I reveal you must resist whatever you feel. So give it right now, this one is for real. The one with magnetic appeal, oh yeah. The one with magnetic appeal, all together now. Magnetic appeal, resonates baby, I don't say no maybe. So dig in your parts like you always know. A needle syringe is a dreadful thing, or what we used to use. But health are plans for magnetic scan, and you cannot lose, oh no, and you cannot lose. I'm a deep sea diver with a stroke, can't go wrong, baby. I'm a deep sea diver with a stroke that can't go wrong, baby. Touch the bottom, baby, my hose pipe is so long, yeah. Woo!
Hugh Cockham is a neurosurgeon. His brand of jazz may not be too easy on the ears, but it might just save your life.
Thank you, Mother. Thank you, Mother. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's a very great pleasure to be here in Bristol's most notable jazz club. We're collecting money tonight here for the Bristol MRI scanner. Fantastic machine. Works entirely on magnetism. There's 23 of these machines in the country. British invention, but unfortunately the health service cannot afford to buy any of them or to run them.
Having identified the problem, Cockham became part of the solution. He helped form a band, Dr. Jazz.
Well, we, in fact, figured that over the last 6 or 7 years in Bristol, we in the neurosurgical department have raised, including this MRI scanner, something approaching £1 million. Yeah. And that includes a surgical laser for brain surgery, a thing called a CUSA, and numerous other pieces of equipment. Yeah. All of which would have been still
as I see
waiting on the shelf.
The problem is that the health service is funded and run in such a way that it maintains a service that exists, but it doesn't actually allow for development. And it therefore behoves the doctors to go out and try and make sure that the patients get that which they need. After all, if the medicine is going to develop and to increase in some way, it has to be funded.
Who's decided to put the foreign coin in here?
Hey, where?
With the doctors forming the nucleus of the band, the music is uncomplicated, but then so is the message. It's a direct appeal to the public to top up the health service's income.
In some ways, it's probably easier for us to target a specific item of equipment that we need and just go for it in our own way, rather than waste possibly 5 years trying to push it through the various medical committees of the health service and then end up getting the answer no.
I mean, I've seen people getting grey hairs and going bald because of that sort of thing.
I thought that was...
I thought there were other reasons for that. What did you say this? Why did you say I'd gone like that? Did you suggest that I was up and ready for surgery?
At Frenchay Hospital in Bristol, Cockham performs surgery of mind-boggling complexity 3 mornings a week, every week.
For me, seeing the human brain exposed for the first time was a mystical experience, and I still look upon it as a great privilege, actually. Every time you you open up the skull and look at the human brain, one feels privileged. It's interesting to note that we're still using instruments invented about 3 centuries ago, and they all work very well for this purpose. It's very important that the surgeon takes his weight evenly balanced on the feet, like I'm doing here, and if the drill starts to slip into the brain, you can immediately catch the weight on your left foot. That's the tradition.
He won that particular event, won it in fine style, although I must admit the final was sensational, if you'll remember, between Bigfoot and King Kong. What a tremendous battle that was, with Jimmy Kramer winning it. All right, here's Kramer now, lining up on the far side for the last time. This will be the last opportunity he'll have in front of this audience. Here he goes, up, 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 and he gets some heavy lift up front. Bouncing around, and Jimmy Kramer now finishes up his run around the Met Center here this evening. Jimmy Kramer. Here's the hot red First Blood, driven by Rob Fuchs. He's a hard worker.
There's always something breaking. You're always modifying it. You know, you find something that works better, and it's ongoing. It's never done.
Rob Fuchs, he's ready to go in First Blood. Watch him now. He bangs into the cars, flies up mighty high to the approval of this audience here in the Met Center. He can win this thing here now. He's a little bit nervous tonight. The truck is relatively new. He's been working on it for about 3 months now, and has it really together over on that backside as he bounces down onto the concrete now. And remember, this whole show is taking place on about a 200-foot strip. About 200 feet long, about 175 feet wide, almost like a hockey rink. Matter of fact, it is a hockey rink. So, Rob Fuchs is through for the night. Let's see what happens now as Hercules moves out. Larry Tura is the driver, and he's concerned about a short wheelbase.
Well, it hurts me because I don't have the length to really be aggressive on the cars and keep the front end on the ground. 9 times out of 10, when I get aggressive, which I'm going to be tonight, the front end will come up quite a ways.
Larry Tura, ready to go. He's out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and they traveled all the way up here to Minnesota to appear here tonight, and you can see not getting quite the lift that perhaps he would have liked to as he comes crushing down on the cars. This is really an interesting truck. The thing about it is, as Larry described to you, it has a shorter wheelbase. It's only about a 108-inch wheelbase. That's somewhere around, like a Camaro or a Trans Am, something like that. And he needs a little bit more to get over the cars. It does have a lot of horsepower, though, 750 horsepower, so certainly he's got plenty of horses to deal with. Here he is again now, climbing up over on the other side, and again not as spectacular as perhaps he had hoped to. Now, the one thing that is neat about this particular truck, it is a flip top. He can actually drive this truck with the cab sitting flipped up way in the air. It has the controls already built in. It's the only one of its kind. Well, as you can see, he's struggling here a little bit this evening. Again, perhaps because it's just a little bit smaller than he'd like it to be in this particular competition. Larry Tura from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, did a nice job. Folks giving him a nice hand. Big folks and little folks as well. Well, here comes Bigfoot back out and the parade of trucks, because we're about ready for the voting. Another vehicle moving out. This is the Crimson Crusher. And as you can see, it's another one of those flip-top monster trucks. Dale Hancock down on the inside. He's doing the driving, hoping that he'll fare pretty well here tonight. Here's another guy who'd like to win it all. This is the master of disaster, Doug Spanier. And as you can see, this crowd is getting ready now to vote for one of these 5 trucks as their favorite here in the Met Center. There's Hercules with Larry Tura, First Blood with Rob Fuchs. There is Master of Disaster with Doug Spanier, Bigfoot, and of course, the Crimson Crusher. Now, let's go to Jerry Devine and find out who the winner's going to be. The Master of Disaster doing real well in the voting.
How many would like to see the Crimson Crusher?
The Crimson Crusher, Dale Hancock, must be a little disappointed not mustering up quite as much of applause as he'd like to. Jimmy Kramer and Bigfoot getting a nice round of applause from the crowd. We'll just have to wait and see. Here's the next truck now.
Number 4. Let's hear it for First Blood.
First Blood, not drawing the applause he'd like to, but remember, it was only his first night out. There'll be big things for that vehicle to come a little bit later on, I'm sure.
Let's hear it for Hercules.
Hercules, the nose of the truck, propped high in the air. Larry Tura certainly hoping he would have gotten a little bigger response from the audience here this evening. Right now, let's find out who's the winner.
Winner tonight, the Master of Disaster.
It's going to be the Master of Disaster, Doug Spanner. What a nice job he did. He's from Albany, Minnesota, and he is your winner.
Thousands of bargains in MFI's biggest sale of the year. Go for it. The sale's on now.
Nescafe, anyone? Ah, music to my ears. Is the maestro with us? Let's see. Nescafe?
Eh?
You know, Nescafe, with that special blend and roast. That richer, smoother taste. Tchaikovsky's first?
No, second. Nescafe always comes first.
Nescafe, coffee at its best. Every day is someone's birthday. Keep in touch. It means much more by post.
Cherry Coca-Cola, Cherry Coke. It's good. The taste is gonna shake up your mind. Cherry Coca-Cola, Cherry Coke. Cherry Coke, unexpected. It's a new twist. So electric. Drink it at your own risk. Cherry Coca-Cola, Cherry Coke.
Turns your world upside down.
Right, let's go.
Okay.
Bye. I'm glad I'm up here, I can tell you. It's freezing out there, but aviation fuel doesn't mind the cold. It's down on the ground that you're going to get the problems, because diesel fuel hates the cold, and it turns into a lumpy, waxy porridge that blocks filters and can stop engines. The cars and trucks all over the place like stranded whales. It's going to be a long walk home for some people tonight. Well, it looks as though Esso have done something about it with their new winter diesel. It's anti-foaming at the pump, so you get a faster, cleaner fill-up, and anti-waxing on the road. So don't be a stranded whale this winter. Wouldn't you rather be a tiger?
Ready, steady, brush like sponge, smooth plain chocolate, and a smashing jello, orangey
Munchkins. They know only McVitie's bake the terrific taste of the original Jaffa cakes. So that's all the word about them. Only McVitie's bake the original Jaffa cakes.
The Great Bronte Upholstery January sale. Massive savings on over 100 handcrafted suites. The sale started Boxing Day, so don't miss it. Bronte Upholstery off Manchester Road, Bradford.
You know, what you're seeing behind me is the great skyline of the city of Chicago. Some of the best architects in the world have built that skyline, and you can see the calming of Lake Michigan behind us also. Now, if you took some of that water out of Lake Michigan, dug up some dirt, mixed it all together, what do you get?
I don't know, the hydrogen bomb.
No.
Mud.
Mud, exactly. One of the hottest new sports in the country right now is mud bog racing.
Ooh, this is exciting.
Back to the Met Center, Minneapolis-St. Paul for down and dirty mud bog racing.
Up first is Ecstasy, a Chevrolet Blazer with a big block motor in it, making lots of horsepower.
Lenny Esquerca, he is the driver. Let's watch him carefully now. In the mud.
The objective is to get to the other end of the course in the quickest possible time, and he's ready to launch.
He is underway, slipping and sliding through the mud bog, and he is through already. Let's take a look at the time. Should be a dandy. 3.94 seconds. That's going to be tough to beat.
That is a very tough mark to beat, but if anyone can beat it, it's this next vehicle coming up, Jan.
This is a hot little number. This is called Quick Trip, a 1946 Jeep.
427 cubic inches, a supercharger, an easily 1,200 horsepower machine, tied with a safety cable to catch him in case he gets to the other end too quick.
Now, this is Mike O'Connell. He is ready to have at it. Watch him carefully now. Big wheels, four-wheel drive, going through the mud to the left, to the right, and he is through in 3.12 seconds.
Mike O'Connell from Newport, Minnesota, currently now the quick time of the beat.
Yeah, that could hold up. Now, there are the real mud bog fans right there in the action.
Oh, bingo, front row seats, the Euchre style.
Well, I'll tell you, they love it. Now, you'll see, there'll be some people coming right down there to sit there so that they can get some mud all over them as well. All right, here's our next competitor. This is the Legend, another funny car Jeep, you could call it.
Yeah, it might have started out as a Jeep, but as you can see, they've really rearranged the bodywork with a lot of fiberglass. This is a very fast vehicle, but remember, he's got to beat a 312.
Another driver out of the state of Minnesota, Mike Keeney, and he is ready to go. This is another vehicle that can get the job done. Here he is now, thrashing in the mud.
Oh, listen to that motor running. What a finish, man. He plows off the finish line.
I think Ken Heidemann, our cameraman, just got sprayed down there. See, there are more people there than before. I told you, they just absolutely love it. Here's his time, that 3:17. Not quite fast enough, but I'll tell you, he's running second right now in the competition. And look at this wonder of wonders.
Once again, Chevrolet Blazer, but this guy's got a wild idea about where the front axle should be.
This is Dave Billingsley out of White Bear Lake, Minnesota. This is a vehicle called Discontent, and he's in the mud.
Oh, he's in the deepest part of it now, sinking.
That's what you call being trapped.
Now, here's where the safety cable will come good because they'll be able to pull him out and go right on to the next competitor in a hurry.
Now, here's the way to do it. Here's a family that brought their own mud flap.
Man, they're enjoying themselves, too.
Here's the next vehicle. This is Mud Hog, big and bulky, driven by Tom Lindemann. Let's see how well he does.
It's a Power Wagon front, but it's got a Chevy bed on it. It's a strange combination of parts with a strange slow attitude right now.
Yeah, he's going to bog down real early here. Just for those of you at home who might not know, this pit starts out 3 foot deep and then eventually goes to 4 feet deep, and he's in 4 foot of mud right now.
Yeah, he's digging his way down to the concrete floor.
So Tom Lindemann here, a little over 30 seconds, so that'll put him out of the competition, but evidently he had some fun going down in the mud pit.
And they still appreciated him. He gave it a heck of a try. Hard on parts.
Good-looking truck. Colorful. Fans love it. Here's Outcast now. This little jobby could do it.
Once again, it's a Jeep type of a body and with lots of horsepower under the hood and all 4 wheels driving.
Yeah, he's got a Chevrolet under there, a big, powerful one, but he's all over the place. Took the long way home.
A long-distance award, but he gets to the finish line with a 9:28.
Tom Hagen is the driver as he sinks deeper and deeper and deeper into the bog.
Yeah, but this time he did it past the finish line, and here we come with a tough competitor.
This is Master Mudder. Used to be the Master of Disaster Monster Truck, and it sort of spun it off into a series of its own, the Master Mudder. Rick Young out of Richfield, Minnesota will be doing the driving, and is he plowing through?
Boy, and once again, that big block motor working hard. He was all over the course with a 3:45.
Yeah, that's not going to win the meet, and the meet is over, and your winner is Quick Trip, Mike O'Connell, and there he is. Nice little piece.
Oh, yeah, and the supercharger's still working well on the top of it.
Just an outstanding job by all the competitors. Now, you have to admit, that is the thickest, ooziest mud you have ever seen.
And those spectators there, do they get involved in that sport or what?
They have it in their hair, it's on their face, and they just absolutely love it. Now, here in Chicago, off in the skyline, you can see what they call Navy Pier. A lot of movie work is done there. Chicago becomes more and more of a movie city every year. And they wreck cars and trucks off of that pier. They drop them into Lake Michigan, they crash them against things. But what's mostly the interesting sidelight to that is the fact they use beater cars to save money, and old ugly trucks and things of that nature. Now, you had an old ugly truck.
I had a 1954 Ford truck with 360,000 miles on it, and by the time I got done with it, it was plenty.
Now, where did you go to put 360,000 miles on that truck?
It had a couple of 100,000 on it before I ever got a hold of that piece.
Well, we're going to show you some ugly trucks. We went down the Louisiana Superdome for an ugly truck contest. Now, I'm not going to tell you who the winner was. You can judge for yourself. You're looking at the astrological sign for Taurus, Taurus the Bull. In Monster Truck Competition, Taurus is a truck driven by Jack Willman. And Jack had some problems not too long ago.
You're right, Jan, and you know, they have an enviable safety record, the monster trucks do, whether they're in competition or putting on a show for the people. But out on the highway, they face the same kind of problems that you and I might. And Jack had a problem in Florida on the highways.
And here to tell us more about it is Del Clark.
Well, Jan, as you know, the safety record of these monster trucks is outstanding. They rarely get into difficulty when they're performing. If there is an accident, chances are it'll be when they're being transported from show to show. And that's unfortunately exactly what happened to this one. Taurus, owned by Jack Willman, one of the most famous monster trucks on the circuit today. Actually, Taurus was to be a part of our show here today, but as you can see, it's not at exactly performing capacity right now. To tell us what happened, here's its owner, Jack Willman.
The accident happened just outside Ocala, Florida, just a couple miles north of Ocala, Florida. And we was headed down to the Orange Bowl in Miami. And we pulled off side of the road in the emergency lane to change drivers. And just as we was completing changing the drivers, well, we got hit in the back. We didn't really know what was going on. It was a very weird feeling like we was running off a cliff or something.
Fortunately, no one was injured in that accident, and Jack is building a brand new Taurus. Right now, let's take a look at some film highlights of the final days of the old Taurus.
Are you ready down there, flagman? Count it down. Crowd right now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 0. Show of strength, car pull apart right there. The Taurus truck and the gigantic Orange Crush.
Hi, everybody. I'm Carol Seitz. We've really seen a lot of trucks on the program today, and they all had their origin and were built somewhere. And we believe this one happens to be the oldest truck in existence, or at least the oldest armored truck. It was originally built by the Marmon Company in Indianapolis, Indiana in 1898 for a military academy. Yes, 88 years ago. It was steam-powered, was covered with armored plates, and came equipped with its very own automatic gun, made by the Colt Company. Yes, the same people that made those Colt 45 pistols. But since this original baby, trucking has come a long way. Today, there are over 5 million trucks on the roads of America. There are 8 different classes of trucks ranging from over 26,000 pounds to 80,000 pounds. Trucks haul everything from lettuce to nuclear waste. There are long-haul carriers, short-haul carriers, tank car carriers that haul everything from gasoline to chocolate milk. An average truck driver puts in approximately 100,000 to 120,000 miles per year. Drivers are allowed to drive 10 hours per day maximum. Most truckers travel with partners to allow more hour time on the road. There's been a growing trend of what Time magazine labeled as truppies, young married couples that travel together and are both qualified licensed truck drivers. The trucking industry is 80% male, but more and more women are entering the world of trucking. So there you have it. A salute to all those truckers all across America who keep us all rolling along.
I love those old antique trucks. They were the forerunner of today's monster trucks.
And an amazing part of history, too.
Indeed. Talk about history. This bus that you see behind me is a little bit of history, too. It's an English double-decker. They use it here in Chicago for sightseeing tours. And it wasn't too long ago, you and I were on tour to Oklahoma City.
Yeah, Oklahoma City. They wrap this guy up in bandages, they stuff him in a car, then they come up with a monster truck and crush it. You wait till you see this.
Watch carefully.
That's Jim Oldacre. We're in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma right now. This was the very first of the monster vans called Rolling Thunder. Now, this particular vehicle is one of the heaviest of the monster trucks. And inside for horsepower, you've got a GMC Detroit Diesel V653. Same kind of horsepower that runs a Greyhound bus down the road, so you know he makes lots of grunt, lots of low-end torque. Oldacre himself out of Redondo Beach, California. Now you're looking at Michael Kent. Michael Kent is a magician and an escape artist. His objective at this particular point in time is to try and escape from a vehicle about to be crushed by Rolling Thunder. As you can see, they've bound his hands, they've got him in a bag, they've got him all taped up. This is something that you can't get out of easily. Now, Michael Kent knows what he's up against, and the thing is that Oldacre has no idea what's going to really happen, and Oldacre got worried about this a little while ago, made him sign a release that said he couldn't be held liable. Now, see the car on the left underneath the monster truck with the blacked out windows? Well, he can't see when it's going to happen. He has no idea. We're going to put Michael Kent inside of that car on the left. Then at some point in time, they'll give the start signal for Oldacre to get the monster truck up on top, and the roof's going to collapse. The car is going to go away, and inside is going to be Michael Kent. Hopefully, out of his bondages there and able to escape from the car. As you can see, he can't move, he can't wiggle. I don't know how. Maybe he is trying to get himself loose inside, though, a little Houdini type of trick. There's Oldacre standing up on his right front tire, checking this whole deal out. I'm telling you, this guy was worried before this event started. He didn't like this idea at all. They're carrying him over. This is Michael Kent. They're going to put him in the back seat of the Chevrolet right now. Ceremoniously, I guess you would have to say, the crowd, oh no, they're ready for this whole deal. They don't know what's going to happen. See the windows, the way they're blacked out so that Michael Kent will not be able to know what's going on? Now the last of his attendants climbing out of the vehicle. Close the door, watch closely, because the start signal happens right away, quick, and Kent got out. That was him. He bailed out of the door, and he's completely free of all of those bindings. That kid is amazing. Michael Kent, a magician and an escape artist, an extraordinary one, too.
The tallest building in the world, the Sears Tower, at over 104 stories tall. Now, if you want to see tall and big, we're going to be going to St. Louis, Missouri to see the tallest, the biggest, the widest, the heaviest monster truck in captivity. It's owned by Bob Chandler, and it's called the legendary Bigfoot.
Well, Bruce, it all began about 11 years ago in an effort to publicize the Midwest Four-Wheel Drive and Performance Center here in St. Louis near the airport. A monster 4x4 truck was built. And here is the guy that designed and built Bigfoot. This is Bob Chandler. And Bob, here in the Midwest on a hot summer evening, it's not uncommon for the folks to enjoy surveying the neighborhood from a porch swing. But this is not your typical porch swing. This, in fact, is suspended from the front bumper of the biggest Bigfoot.
This is Bigfoot 5 right here, Gary.
Where'd you get these tires and wheels?
They came from a junkyard in Seattle. They're off of Alaska Land Train. They're about 10, 15 years old. The tires are all dry rotted, but I bought 8 of these tires and wheels about 3 years ago.
Now, I have covered motorsports all across the country, and I think one of the most popular events is the mud bog. And I know you enjoy that with this particular vehicle.
Yes, we tried this one in the mud first about a week ago in Indianapolis. And it really did good, but for mud you need a truck with wheel speed. And this thing here, geared at 310 to 1, it was really slow. I didn't quite make it through the pit.
Well, now, I don't want to say that you have big feet, but you have more than one monster truck.
I like to call them Bigfoot trucks rather than big feet. Yeah, we have a total of 7 trucks. We have 4 Bigfoot trucks, the big full-size trucks that we tour with. Ms. Bigfoot, the Aerostar, and then this one that we usually leave on our mound here.
And what kind of an entourage do you have when you travel?
We have 6 different motorhomes that we tow with. They're big LTL Ford trucks, and we pull a trailer with the vehicles in the back.
And how many people do you use?
Total between the companies, Midwest Four-Wheel Drive and Bigfoot, is 50 people.
And how long does it take to really change tires? This is not your championship Indy-style pit stop.
Well, on the regular trucks, it's only half hour, but this thing here would take, when we run the duals, it's about a 3-hour job, and it takes 6 people, hard work.
Well, the last time Jan Gabriel was here talking with you, you had a challenge that you couldn't quite meet.
the gravel ramp.
The gravel ramp in Cleves, Ohio, and you couldn't quite make it over the top.
Yeah, it's a 270-foot high hill. It's a 70-degree angle, and it's pea gravel. And this year, for the first time in 4 years of trying, I made it over with Bigfoot 1.
But what changes?
Well, we increased the horsepower, put another carburetor on, set the blower up, put nitrous oxide on it. I screwed the tires to the wheels so I can drop the air pressure more. We took about 2,000 pounds of weight out of the truck.
You have been crushing your competition, going head-to-head for all these 11 years, and one of the most popular aspects of monster trucks is crushing cars. But now you are literally crushing monster trucks.
Yeah, we tried something here at the shop a few years back, and we just did it again about 2 months ago. We drove over 2 monster trucks. We set them up just like a normal full-size truck with a 66-inch tall tires on it and drove over with this truck right here.
We have seen how far you've come in 11 years with all the competition now, but how far can you go safely without hurting somebody?
What we're doing, and we've been doing for the last 6 months, is setting up a set of rules for the monster trucks. We're talking to promoters, we're talking to other truck owners, monster truck owners, and we want to keep our sport safe. We want to keep it around for years to come. So I think within 6 months we're going to get this set of rules done that everybody can abide by, and it'll make a safer sport out of what we're running.
What's on the drawing board next for Bigfoot?
Well, I can't tell you that. You guys just wait and see.
And I'll be ready to take another ride with you. Bob, thanks for the visit.
Thank you, Gary.
The legendary Bigfoot, always a favorite.
You know, Jan, a lot of people are surprised to find out that Bigfoot can actually float.
Well, it's not only Bigfoot, most monster trucks can float on water. Now, although they weigh about 13,000 pounds, these tires are so big, have so much air in them, that they actually create buoyancy for the truck. If you took one out in the harbor here, it would indeed float. But right now, we're going to change our direction a little bit and head to the south side of Chicago, where there are some dastardly deeds going on.
When Detective Slick Watson discovered the whereabouts of criminal Bud Rossi, notorious for sabotaging as many as 10 monster trucks, he sets out to get his man. But when he goes to make the arrest, little does he realize his troubles have just begun.
How you doing?
Okay. What can I do for you?
I'm looking for Bud Rossi. Is he around?
Who? I don't know him.
I got a federal warrant out for his arrest.
Not wanting to be captured, Rossi slips out the back door and steals away in Detective Watson's car.
My car!
Yeah, police business. Follow that car.
Looking to chase Rossi, Slick commandeers the monster truck Gentle Ben. Realizing that he soon may be caught, finds a hiding place, or so he thinks. Spotted by a man on the street, Rossi is doomed.
Don't shoot, there's fuel in there!
Slick goes into action, knowing the danger. He thinks fast and uses Gentle Ben's power to bring Rossi to justice. Can Rossi survive the explosion? Indeed he does, and justice prevails.
Hey, pal, it's the end of the line.
Well, I'm certainly glad they caught the bad guy. You know, we've seen a lot of monster trucks on the program today, but we haven't seen them all.
No, far from it. You know, there's over 100 of them in existence already in the United States, and there's probably that many more under construction at this very moment.
So let's take a look at some other monster trucks.
outstanding monster trucks today. Some a little more unique than others, but all were terrific.
And it's probably the proper time to pay tribute to the guys who own them, build them, and drive them. Showmen, all of them, exciting people to watch.
And without them, these programs wouldn't have been possible. So I, too, would like to add my thanks to all the owners and the drivers. I'm Jan Gabriel, along with Bruce Flanders. We'll see you next time with more monster trucks, or perhaps monster cars.
Next this afternoon, Hans Christian Andersen's story of the little match girl comes to life, told in words and music. That's after the break.
Do you know where you're going to? You will like the things that we are showing you.
Wherever you're going to, make sure you go to Thomas Cook first. Because we've cut the brochure price of over 1 million holidays from leading tour operators. So book at these special prices through Thomas Cook now. Don't just book it, Thomas Cook it.
You'll be in total control of your video recordings with the compact new G10 from Panasonic. We think we've thought of everything.
The name's Charlie Brown. My prices are always down. At sale time, your cotton are downright rock bottom. Look, this Goodyear tyre, 1550. An exhaust fitted for 1190. That's half the manufacturer's recommended price. A battery down to 1250. Save on my Super 2050 oil at $2.99 a gallon, and save on a fixed price 12,000 mile service only $34.95 with Crypt and Tune. The sale's now on at Charlie Brown's.
Charlie's check the prices, so check Charlie's first.
You want your savings in a hurry? You gotta wait in line. And just when you're getting there, it's a waste of time. There's a new idea from NatWest Bank. You can get a service card with an online account. If you're over 14, try this new transaction. Just stroll on up and press for action. Your money in your hand around the clock. So you can do what you're doing with no need to stop. So if you find you're losing out, cause to get your own cash you have to hang about, make sure you don't get left behind. You better get wise and get online. NatWest Online. Press for action. Action.
I'm going to tell you how it's going to be. With Scotch's lifetime guarantee. Tape what you want both night and day. Then re-record, not fade away. Re-record, not fade away. Re-record, not fade away.
Every recording as good as the first, or we'll give you a new tape. You can watch Scotch forever.
Re-record, not fade away.
Tell me.
This brings back memories.
Precious?
Pure gold.
It must be something in the air.
Only the aroma of Gold Blend promises the taste that's rich, that's pure, that's smooth, that's only Gold Blend. Nescafe Gold Blend.
How about another reminder?
Nescafe Gold Blend, the promise of pure gold.
Ring out the old in the new Woolworths £25 million sale. Fantastic low prices throughout the store. Don't miss out. Hurry down to Woolworths now.
Dusting and cleaning never wiped the smile off my face. With Mr. Sheen, I just fly around the house.
Mr. Sheen really does shift the dirt, seal the surface, and put on a shine in seconds. Well, we certainly took a shine to that table.
I think I'd rather taken a shine to you. Oh, that's great. I hope it wasn't just a flying visit.
Mr. Sheen shifts, shields, and shines in seconds.
It's a fun Christmas.
Sunday at 4:45, it's Bullseye.
What was the official position of Samuel Pepys?
Now, this could be a catch here. What have you got written down there?
Well, I've got written down here he was Secretary to the Admiral.
That's absolutely correct.
All right.
Yes, thank you very much.
Don't forget to watch the Grumbleweeds on Sunday.
Hi, Tarby here. Why don't you join me this Sunday at 6 for a special Christmas Winner Takes All, where I have 4 celebrity friends of mine answering questions for their favourite charities. Please join us.
Your ITV.
And now on Yorkshire Television, Twiggy, Roger Daltrey and Natalie Morse star in the story of The Little Match Girl by Hans Christian Andersen.